Hey, Uber partners and drivers. I want to share with you some information I received in the mail today. And let me show you. Tips for service are appreciated. This is a bumper sticker I got in the mail. Tips for service are appreciated. It is from the Independent Drivers Guild of New York. And I had came across this organization, I think on Facebook. And what they were doing, they sent me a happy Labor Day, a note about their service and solidarity to try to get rideshare drivers to join this guild. And it gives them the right to unionize. So let me go ahead and explain what the Independent Drivers Guild of New York is about. What they are is they're trying to fight for basic rights such as unemployment benefits, the right to unionize, workplace without discrimination, family leave, overtime pay, and safe work for hundreds of years. Now, this is an organization that implemented those policies or guidelines. And what it is that they're having a campaign, which is a tipping campaign to get drivers to stand in solidarity. And as we all know, Uber does not allow tipping on its app. They don't even have an app. They don't even have a thing on their app about to get tips. So this organization or union is trying to unionize along with the Association of Mechanics, Machinists, and Aerospace Workers. So along with those two, they are a union in New York. And they want to have the drivers part of this campaign of tipping. And they're trying to work with Uber, or not work with Uber, but they're trying to pressure Uber through a community education by reaching out to passengers in bars, social media, and the press, and in your cars and on the streets to tip. You know? So let me go ahead and read this letter that I got. And basically, what you want to do is you go to drivingguild.org/donate. And it's going to help them with their campaign. So they could go ahead and allow and pressure Uber to tip as well as other things. But I came across this because as some people may know, in the state of New York, there's a class action suit going on where they're suing Uber in regards to unfair labor practices. Now, there's a dispute about whether we are considered to be independent contractors or workers. And the premise is that by definition, they felt that you're not really independent contractors or self-employed because there are certain things that Uber is promoting, as well as Lyft and some other companies, where they are not really considered to be, you're not really considered to be like an independent business owner in a sense. And one of the things is, terminating one's contract with Uber if you don't, they still have certain guidelines and rules. So you don't really have that freedom as an independent driver to determine whether or not you choose to accept certain number of rides, because if you have too many cancellations, they could deactivate your service. Then there's issues regarding about tips. The main big thing is about the tips, because the whole thing is about a living wage, because they factor that they think that it's true to some extent that we're probably getting paid below the minimum wage, the federal minimum wage. And Yes, there's deductions you could take, there's expenses you could take and account for. But with the ruling, or the thing is that's going on in New York, is the fact that they felt that Uber is exploiting a lot of the drivers. Because in New York, if you're a taxi cab driver, my father was a taxi cab driver before he passed for over 40 years in New York. He drove the yellow cabs. And in New York, the cab drivers are union. They are unionized. And therefore, they get holiday pay, benefits, and things of that nature. Even though you have your own car, or you basically, what it is that you lease your car, to lease the car, and you pay the cab company a percentage of your fee. In exchange, you get paid a regular paycheck, but you're kind of like an independent driver. But in a sense, many of the labor laws allows, you know, the cab companies, particularly New York, is you still have laws and union to abide to in regards to pay, vacation, benefits, and things of that nature, pension, things like that. So, I don't know how it is now, but when my father was driving a cab, and he probably did it in the 70s. I have an uncle as well, he drives a cab. So a lot of things, in terms of how those taxi cab union and limousine commissioner is, they implemented a lot of labor practices where cab companies are not taking advantage of the drivers, and they felt that Uber is taking advantage of drivers. So, but they're having a campaign, a tip campaign, and I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put this bumper sticker at. I wish it was a magnet, but I would slap it on my car. I should slap it right on the back seat of the dashboard. That way people could read, tips are appreciated for your service, because I did Uber Eats on Friday, and I only got one tip, and it was for $2. Guy made about over $100 in Uber Eats and got $2 tip. Went to people's house, climbed up some hills, climbed up some steps. People just grab the bag at your hand and they go about their business and slam the door. Now, I'm not going to be upset or mad about it by not getting a tip, but it would be appreciated that if you're going to deliver food to someone, at least give $1. I figure if you did 20 trips, you should at least have $20 in tips, even if it's $1. I guess people figured that, well, I paid through the app and I already paid up front. They figured since you're not getting cash in your hand, and they don't have to take out their wallet, and you get the food once you've been paid, they feel that they don't have to tip, because on a flick of a phone, you paid for services. I don't know. It's ridiculous. But if people really know the true aspect about how much people really get paid, being an Uber driver or a Lyft driver or anything, Postmasters or, whatever. There's so many companies out there that tips are appreciated, because you're not really getting paid a lot. Now, I haven't yet ran my numbers, but I used to work for the IRS, so I know that if I add up all my expenses and all the money I made and everything else, I probably not even breaking even. But for now, because I need the immediate cash to pay my basic bills and not dwindle down my savings account until I find another job, I have to do what I have to do. So hopefully, um, you will visit this website, driversguild.com, or text drive DRIVE or 64336 to this campaign, or go to their website and they'll give you one of these stickers for free. Sign up, they'll mail you a sticker, and if we all could go in solidarity to help this organization pressure Uber to adapt a tip app policy, maybe then Uber will listen and start to do that. But until then, we have to figure out ways to be in solidarity to pressure Uber into doing a tip. Now, I don't know about Lyft. You know, Lyft has the option to tip, and Postmasters, they give you an option to tip. But a lot of people just don't do it. You know, I don't know if it's an age group of people. Is it the millennials? Or is it, people who just feel that they so used to paying on the app that they don't have to tip anymore? Where does that leave other people who work in restaurants? Because now at Applebee's, not Applebee's, TGI Fridays, or one of those restaurants, you don't even have to have a waitress. You sit at the table, you order your food on this app at your table, and then the food is sent to the kitchen, and then it's brought out by a server. So nobody's have to take your food order anymore, or to do that. And now they have it where, an app, you can order the food, pay for it pay at the table, do an app when you finish. So if the waitress or waiter is coming to your table one time just to drop the food on your table or give you your beverages and then they leave, they don't have to take your order. They don't have to collect the money. Do that means that people are going to stop tipping at the table once those restaurants get into that mode, eliminating waitresses and waiters to take the food order? Or simply they just going to be there, have one person just to put the food on the table and go about their business, and that's it. You know, I don't know. But please go ahead and visit that website. And I'm going to try to post that in the description box about this organization as to where to go. But in the meantime, safe driving, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.